We don't have Monday's no-gi footage. We do have some stuff from the archives. I think we got from a little over a month ago. We have some no-gi footage we're going to cover a little later. It was from an open mat, I think, so it was a little light that day. What's up, Steven?
Go.
We're going to start with the same stuff we always do when we're a little light on footage. We're going to go back and look at some old competition footage of back when, in this case, when I used to suck. Yeah, so...
Yeah, about that, James. My battery apparently died. I got 4 minutes and some odd seconds of footage.
Yeah.
I didn't even think I could ask for your camera. Didn't you have one up on Saturday?
I think he did. He always does.
Yeah, he always
Just
does.
start using James's shit now, so we don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. As far as we don't need the position of the week up, since we're not doing anything like that. But anyway, let's get started. So we'll kick this off dissecting a gi match I had back when I was a 2-stripe blue belt. And we'll give you some background into some other BS later. Let's be super cagey about it for now. So this guy runs a gym, I think out in like, I don't know, somewhere out past Concord. I don't remember. Or he coaches there or something. He was a super nice guy that I hit a little, I don't know.
Seonagi?
Yeah, I guess that is a Seonagi. That's not a drop Seonagi.
Right.
Right? Because I stayed up with him.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, I guess while we're looking at that, so what I hate about the way I learned a standing Seonagi is it's typically done with a straight grip, right? Not a cross grip, a straight grip on the lapel. So my right hand would typically be grabbing his left lapel. And you'll notice as I start to set this up, right here, when I go to pull the guy over, I'm cranking my hand is staying in place, but my elbow is torquing all the way over, and it just put a lot of stress on the arm when I did that. So I think I actually talked with Francisco about like if a cross grip is appropriate, right, or if it's good enough. And in doing that, like the trade-off is a bit of back exposure, right? You're pulling it, your hand is across, so you'd have both hands on one side of his body, right? I've got a wrist grip or a sleeve grip and a lapel grip. So I'm not just like giving him full exposure to my back, but I am turning to him anyway with this move. So with the cross grip, it's a little riskier, but way easier on, at least on my shoulder in setting it up. And looking through this like a few frames at a time looks pretty badass. Let's see. So I'd say I got pretty well underneath him here, right? A nice bend in my legs. You can see his toes are starting to come up. I'm breaking his contact with the ground. I extend him up and over, pop him down. She walks right in front of me, and he astutely re-rolls me. So I end up going over, and the reason that happened, at least I think, is when I hit that throw, or when you hit any throw, how you land relative, like your if you compare like your spines, right? We talk about alignment when we're on back mount, right? How we want our spines in alignment. If your spines are parallel to each other, you're at risk for a re-roll. If you land cross-side, it's much harder to re-roll. Just think about like when someone puts you in side control, you can't just roll them over, right? Because all their weight's back. So when you hit these kind of higher, like more dynamic throws, how you land is an important thing to keep to practice and to keep track of as you're going through. Otherwise, you're prone to a reroll like this. But I managed to survive. I kept a grip on that cross grip and like kind of stiff armed him away. and work to hip heist up and take top position. And hold on 1 second. Getting a software update. So let me go back real quick. So yeah, I ended up taking mount. So I got 2 points on my takedown, 4 points I think on the mount, and maybe 2 points for a immediate pass. Nah, it looks like you just gave me 6. Started threatening with a cross grip. I think I was maybe thinking about an arm bar. But our my opponent here has let his hand or his arm, in this case his left arm, his elbow get across my stomach, right across my belly button, which we know when it gets there we can start to take the back. So I opt to go into a bow and arrow. But he did.
What's up, Tio? Good to see you.
Tio, what's up, man? I saw you followed. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks. Yeah.
So yeah, I this guy was putting up a really good hand fight on the grip, so I actually had to change. Let's look at that change. So I couldn't quite get. I'll go back a little further. A way that we often strengthen the strangle is to put our bottom leg over the shoulder and kind of extend away, right? Problem is he's laying on my bottom leg. I'm not on like a good 90-degree angle to where I can extract my leg and get it over his shoulder. I think I briefly was like right here, right? But instead I'm sitting on my leg behind me rather than putting it over the shoulder. He rolls into me. I kind of lose the opportunity to do that. Retain my back control. And then now, right here is where I decide to make a switch. So I've got my right arm gripping his left lapel. I switch my arm and I even push his shoulder so that my grip can go even deeper up the neck, right? Or, you know, around the neck. So get nice and deep there. Really subtle move, but watch my left foot comes out, goes to the hip, helps me push to get my angle. I think he tried to walk away from me a bit. I get my pants grip, and I knew where the camera was, so I tried to strangle him in that direction, and ended up getting the strangle there. So yeah, that was a fun video. That was the first time I had ever hit a Seonagi or like a good like dynamic throw in a match. So I was pretty stoked on that. This match, Mike, you remember this one?
I remember it.
So this was my first no-gi match of the day, and let's see what's up. Mike, congrats on the brown belt. That's awesome. School wide. Awesome, man. I'm glad you've been tuning in, keeping up with it.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, we appreciate the support and the kind words. Hope to see you back on the mat soon, man. We miss you.
Yeah,
you brought an annoying level of pressure that was always
for sure.
really difficult to deal with. So come beat us up some more, man. So this match was a really important day in my own, you know, we used the word journey last time speaking with Odo. This is a really important one for me, where I learned the difference between poor coaching and great coaching. And you know, not trying to throw shade, maybe I am a little bit. What's up, Joe? You're working. We see you. Oh yeah, Mitch is always more than enough.
Yeah.
So before this match, I had somebody chattering in my ear about how to approach this match, right? And remind you, I'm a 2-stripe blue belt. I had things that were working for me. I was still learning a whole lot about controlling an opponent and imposing my game on them. Big part of that for me, even to this day, is the use of collar ties and sNaPdOwNs. Right, being shorter, love bringing people down to my level, and you've heard Mike and I at this point joke more than once on this stream about how sNaPdOwNs don't work. And this match is where that whole joke basically originated. So I had someone telling me not to use sNaPdOwNs, instead to use like an over-under clinch, because sNaPdOwNs don't control your opponent. I think anybody who's rolled with any of us at this school know that that is patently false. And unfortunately, I wasn't confident in myself enough at the time that we had this match to, you know, eschew the bad advice and listen to the good coach who was on the sideline, who was Luke, who, you know, was at every one of our matches. So the other coach wasn't, and gave me terrible advice, and it shows in this match. So enough of that. Standing around waiting. This guy's being annoying. And mind you, I was pushed up to the 170-pound weight class, so this guy's got some weight on me. Nothing I'm not used to. But he got behind me and he started. I think he started to take me down. Oh yeah, the ref told him to stop like 3 times, except he said it in Portuguese, which is like, I don't understand why they still do that. Like, you know where you are, but whatever. Yeah. So James, you get to see the origin. And no, right here, I'm glad it's in frame. He's behind me, and my primary focus right now is breaking his grip to get out of this. But notice what my leg is doing. My left leg, I've woven it around the outside of his left leg and kind of hooked my foot in behind it. So if he tried to like suplex me or not, he doesn't even have to like bend over backwards, but like just break my connection with the ground by picking me up, I could kind of minimize the amount of height he can get out of it and put to use. I didn't know what kind of background this dude had or how savage he was looking to get. So yeah, that's the other thing too. I couldn't exactly tell that he was saying stop, but I thought he was. So I was like, okay, yeah.
Was it because you guys were going out of bounds?
Yeah.
Is that why you stopped? Okay.
Yeah. And then like this, at the restart, he's telling me, I look at this footage. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but watch the opponent. He's like, "Oop, turn around," and they didn't. And he's like, "Okay, whatever." I'm like, "Yeah, that's not in the rules." So I tried to hit an arm drag. And watch, I mean, the whole time I'm not even addressing his collar tie, right? I sneak one in and take it off immediately because I know the other coach was watching, and I'm trying to work this over-under grip on him, which, against a taller opponent, it's not necessarily going to be the most useful, or at least for me at that level, it wasn't. I don't know. Do you use that much?
It depends. It depends on. No, I guess no, I don't. If I'm going against somebody who's going to be my size or smaller, I'll use an over under, because it can be very overpowering. But if you're giving up 15, 20 pounds here, and
yeah,
I see that as being just terrible advice.
Yeah. Yep. It felt terrible. Ineffective. Tried to go for a little hip toss there with no luck. This may have been like the only. I haven't watched this fight in so long, so I don't know. Was that cold? No, that's not. That's just cold now.
That's cold now.
Yeah. Okay, so working a seated guard, De La Hiva.
He's trying his best to get a grip, right? Like he needs something to do with his right hand right now.
Yeah, you know what I tried to do there was a rolling Kimura entry.
Yep.
Which was really stupid. I with my leg tied up like that, I should have been a bit more explosive. I essentially just gave him my back, right?
Right.
For this to be effective, my hips need to be up over top of his head. They should be on this side of his head, right? I just kind of like slumped in and fell over and lost position. So he gets on my back. I mean, I had a threatening Kimura, but he had the angle on me. I have to be chest to chest really to finish that.
Yep.
And
Yeah, the fact that he was able to get his legs over your hips to secure that back is what cost it, right? If he only had one hook in, then I think you could have still fought for it.
I start cranking on his legs too, but he didn't seem to be too fazed by it, right? You could see his ankles were crossed. I found his foot, but he wasn't having any of it. Working an escape, so he didn't. Did he get points? Did the ref hold up for? Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Yeah, because he had both hooks in.
Yeah.
But then transitioning them out. What's he looking for? He gets another 4 for going into mount.
Yeah. So yeah, he wrote up points on me, which is smart. Yeah, then he just kind of passed over my guard there. I mean, that was very little effort from him.
You reguarded here, but then it seemed like something told you like reset, and then he just pinned and
he
started walking around.
Knee stapled there, and just kind of like went heavy chest to chest. There, I'm trying my my little fishing maneuver, which he just knee slides out of. I can't say, I don't really recall much of a submission threat from him too much. He was way up on points, so he didn't have to do too much from here to win. I guess an attempt was made for the triangle.
What's up, DJ?
DJ, what's going on? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, really ineffective framing. I mean, no real reason to go to north-south there. You could tell, like, I'm not working like a side guard or anything. I may have still been in my head a little bit about the terrible advice I received. Thanks for the follow, DJ.
Thank you.
But yeah, he got on my back again. Racked up more points. I don't know what I lost this match to. It was probably like 15-0 or something like that. Mercifully, we're coming to the end here, I think. So yeah, again, you know, we're both blue belts, so I think actually they didn't do this by belt; it was by whatever you signed up for. So I was probably intermediate, but you can tell, like, he doesn't have much of a hand fighting game developed yet. There wasn't really much of a threat from the back there, but he got way up on points. I probably just started to have a little bit of fun. So pretty pissed off. This was another good lesson, like an extra lesson out of that match was how to get into murder mode, which this poor guy that I go up against next got to kind of face the brunt of. So yeah, Deathcore, this is some old footage. So actually, yeah, I don't know, maybe you were here when we gave the intro. But yeah, so I went out into this fight really pissed off about having not worked the game that I was used to working, the game that I know works for me. And Luke, you know, got in my ear and was like, what the hell are you doing? You know, like do what you know how to do. So again, giving up weight, I'm still with the 170s. So yeah, first thing I do, I start hitting the collar tie, working for it, pressing forward as much as I can, as much as this guy was willing to move, trying to hit a snap down there. He shoots in, and this was this was kind of a funny little moment. I remember, like he shoots and we get all the way to the edge of the mat, and my right foot was just about off the mat. I was doing everything I could to keep this position, right? This is where we get to when we work proper sNaPdOwNs, right? We get to this front headlock, and this is a controlling position. Mind you, 10 minutes earlier I was told sNaPdOwNs don't work, they don't exhibit any control. It's not necessarily the sNaPdOwN that doesn't control your opponent, it's where you end up with it. So snapping down is a tool, use it to get to what you want, right? Back then I weighed basically exactly the same as I do now. Yeah, I think I probably weighed in that day at like, 142 or 144 or something, skipped breakfast and weighed in the morning. So this guy weighed at least 170, I imagine, 165 to maybe 175, somewhere in that range. So yeah. In any case, yeah. Managed to exhibit control. I spun to the back from the front headlock position. I had no real good answers to breaking down a turtle. So I think if I did this to any of you now that we train with, it probably wouldn't. I mean, like maybe white belts or whatever, but you'd probably laugh at me if I just stood up and pulled you back over your feet like that.
Yeah.
But I did have a strategy when I got to the back, unlike my previous opponent, where I looked to leg trap. And then after this, it was a bit more brute force. Again, I was pretty pissed off. So you can see I kind of use a bit of a chin whip to get under the neck here. We'll see it in a second. Not like a real bad one, but here I think I had him kind of like a muffler or more of a chin strap. I wasn't over his mouth, but I pull him aside. Good time to pause, and I sink my other hand in. I let go, and I hit just a short choke grip, and just attempt to crush his trachea, and he tapped. So yeah, it was funny. Right at this moment here, as soon as I trap that, he goes. and he just kind of knew it was not gonna pan out for him. But yeah, so it was that was one of the this was a brief day for me. I only had like this 3 matches, the 3 we just showed, but definitely learned some big lessons there on the value of having a good coach in your corner, knowing your own strengths and weaknesses, and being able to work, just how to work them and impose your game on your opponent. So before we move on, we'll get on to the open mat footage in a second. Just want to catch up on this chat here. DJ, 205 pounds, trying to be too strong. Strength is not a weakness. Thank you to Joe for that one. Yeah, I mean, I never, thank you, Tio. I didn't have a choice, right? I signed up, there was nobody my size, so they say, do you want to sit out or do you want to compete? And after all that, you just kind of compete, and you're going to learn something that day, one day or the other. But yeah, DJ, are you saying you try to be too strong when you're rolling, or what is, how should I interpret that comment?
He's trying to be strong.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, lift, man. Just lift and get stronger, and don't break your training partner's limbs. Probably some of the worst advice I've ever given on this chat. So this is, for everybody watching, this is footage from March 6th. So, you guys have learned a lot of things in the span of almost 2 months, I'm sure. So, I'll give the disclaimer I always do. If we see you doing stupid stuff, I'm sure you've or I hope that you have learned to not do it by now. So, how much weight are you looking to drop, man? DJ, to you. Bulletproof upper, athletic bottom. Oh, it looked like you were digging in on a leg.
I was trying to kip. I was trying to get to. This was around the time where I was looking at the kipping escape. I think. And I tried kipping through and getting into a leg. And he, didn't have it.
Case in point to what I was just saying. I mean, that was. You definitely know kipping escapes a lot better now than 2 months ago.
Yeah, right.
Ronnie with the nice takedown on Steven. Good upper body control and just way to kind of smash through him, right? So this is not like what Ronnie's doing up top is a really good takedown that Bertram showed it to me forever ago, or a version of that where you just sit through on that head and arm control and you end up in Kesa and can immediately start working the working your side control. Be strong to break. This game 4-stripe white belt. Where did you find that picture, Tino?
Yeah. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. DJ, if you're trying to go from 205 to 150, take it slow, man. Don't rush through that. That is a good bit of weight to lose. So, good luck, first off, and I mean that non-sarcastically. That's a great goal to have. But just be smart about it, man, and definitely that takes work in the kitchen too, not just hucking weights around in the gym. So it's a battle. Hopefully jiu-jitsu helps.
Yeah, so here I've got a thread of a Darce from Danny. He's sneaking it in because I'm attempting a body lock pass, but he's extending his legs out and I can't get his heels back to his butt.
That was a nice sweep.
Yeah.
So why are you trapping his leg?
It felt like the right thing to do at the time, and I don't know why.
I'm genuinely curious if you were. I imagine you were trying to control his angle, like the way he was trying to cut an angle or something.
It's gotta be like I do like weird shit when I get into certain submissions, and that felt like if I had to guess, it felt like it was putting a lot of tension on his bicep. And I was starting to feel it slip, so I kept cranking on his leg. Is kind of, if I had to guess,
Gotcha.
Where I was at that time.
Tio must be creeping on some old Instagram content.
Yes, I don't know whether Danny was baiting me. He often likes to bait the pass so that he can start securing the triangle. But I'm keeping my head low, keeping my arms out of danger, and I'm attacking the Kimura on the far side. So he always has the threat of throwing his legs up there. And my job here is to feel whether or not I can pin his hand down to the mat, or whether I have to step around and go for the armbar. Or if you give me a back exposure.
He did really well to get his head free out of that, right? I mean, that's from this dorsal Kimura position. You know, I think we're nice during drilling because we don't want to sit on each other's heads for 15 minutes at a time. But like, you know, the way you're pinching your knees in here and controlling the shoulders is a crucial part to any arm lock, or most arm locks. And you can see he manages. I think he's framing your foot right here.
Left hand, yeah.
Yeah, so he started to disrupt the clamp that you had on his shoulders and on his head, and then starts prying himself away from that and sneaking out to get his upper body free. Definitely take some composure as your arm is wrapped up in a Kimura grip, especially from you. You have a real serious way of putting like immense pressure on the body right here from the top position, like.
Right.
I mean, you could tell just by the hinge in your knee here, like your butt's forward, your head's forward, so all of your weight is pressing into this arm, and pushing over top of Danny. Oh, nice.
Yeah, as Danny starts rolling away from me, I can tell that I can't get the arm pinned down to the mat, so I have to switch over for the straight arm lock.
Yeah. Ronnie's trying to rip Steven's shoulder off with an Americana. Or rip his arm off at the shoulder. Ah. Ronnie, right here. Like, I love the violence of the crossface. But get that elbow down. Yeah, your left elbow, right? Getting that elbow to the mat may have helped here a little bit. I mean, that's not gonna like make or break the move, but it could have prevented Steven's head from turning to the left, which if he can't look to the left, he can't bridge to the left, right? I'm not gonna say it would have like totally shut that down, but it definitely would have impeded it a bit.
Be left elbow down to the mat and then dragging the head, towards your body.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Nice, so he's in on a leg.
Bottom side Katagatame from Danny, or from Ronnie and Steven. I miss what Danny did. Because look at what Ronnie does. Ends up locking him up real nicely.
Oh yeah, from bottom. And then using that as sweep.
Yeah, I was gonna exactly. She starts to
very nice
to get that over, but she loses the mount position, right?
Yep.
She should have ended up in a mount there, but because that was the risk in opening her legs on the sweep. I don't know what happens with what becomes the top leg here. Okay, so yeah, it looked like he ended up leg pummeling to a better spot, and then now from here, since you're in guard. Well, you're in half guard, so. Oh, I'm in the way. DJ.
Danny are going. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. What are you saying?
I think me and Danny are going over the finer points to the inside heel hook here.
Yeah. It looked like he was doing it with like an outside, like his legs are on the outside of you. So more of a 50-50 rather than the cross ashi. DJ, how long you been training? Or do you train? And if not,
you should train.
How'd you find us? Yeah, start training. Zip ahead a little bit. So Ronnie's got top position, about a minute left in the round. Okay, so primarily fighting for the far arm, doing a lot of control. There we go, a little better. Doing a good job ratcheting up on that arm, doing your best to capture it. No, I mean, where do you train jiu-jitsu if you train jiu-jitsu? What were you saying?
I said Planet Fitness is a great option.
But, or not but, just fun fact, we started training at a gym as well.
That's true.
For part of our time anyway.
Yeah.
We trained jiu-jitsu at a Gold's Gym for a little bit. After enough bad coaching advice. Are you interested in learning how to train or learning how to roll or is it something you want to work into your routine? They don't do BJJ at Gold's Gym. No. we bought a bunch of mats that you can Velcro together, and after we decided that we needed better options, Cole hooked us up. He found the place, and we basically had to wait until after all group classes were done at Gold's Gym. Then we can go in there, set up mats, and we would train there for an hour or so. And we did. How long did we do that, man? It was like 3 or 4 months, 5 months maybe. Yeah. We actually entered a competition under the school name, briefly under the school name, I think just Gold's Gym, or like Gold's Gym Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. Like we were like, yeah, let's just do it. Why not? But then by the time the competition came around, we decided that we were becoming Mooresville BJJ, or Bertram and Luke decided that's where the gym was going. So we switched it over, and we like wrecked at that tournament too. We went out, I think, with like 5 people and came in second in the team score, and the first place team had like what,
a ton of competitors.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 dozen students or something like that. So
because we had no kids at the time, we didn't have any kids training or anything with us.
Yeah, I think maybe I wouldn't be surprised if like Paige competed that day, or maybe Kendall. DJ, don't think. I mean, look, you do what's right for you as far as when you choose to like give jiu-jitsu a try or anything like that. But don't think that you've got to make a certain weight or something. Like, there's no right time to start training. Like, the best time to start training is years ago. The second best time is now. So don't. In your weight loss journey, jiu-jitsu might be a big helpful part of that. We've definitely had a lot of guys at our school come in and lose very visible amounts of weight, and jiu-jitsu has helped them reach their goals. So, and if you're just finding our stream tonight, you could probably go check out the I'm in a wheelchair. That changes everything. But if you have other further questions about jiu-jitsu, last stream this past Sunday, we had a guy asking us a whole lot of good white belt questions, so that could be a good place to start if you want more information, or you could just ask whatever you want here. So, but yeah, I'll stop doling out advice, not knowing the full level of your obstacles you got to deal with. So, actually, it's funny you mentioned that. Did we go over? I don't think we showed the roles that I had with Pete McGregor, the 10th Planet guy.
I don't think so. I don't think we went over that.
Yeah, maybe I left those out. There's a whole big group of, I guess, like able, other abled, handicapped, whatever the correct word is, but handicapped jiu-jitsu players who come out to tournaments, and a bunch of them signed up. I got to go against one of them. He's he does his best with what he's got. I think he's a purple belt. A bunch of them were or maybe 2 of them were purple belts that day. I know a bunch more have gone on to get promotions. But yeah, there are a lot of, swear to God, man, there are a whole bunch of handicap jiu-jitsu athletes out there. It just like his particular handicap. He told me he got in a car accident when he was very young that severed his spinal cord and his legs basically stopped growing and functioning. So he had he was in a wheelchair. Just fought upper body, and again did what he could, worked within his limitations. He's done a gang of tournaments. I don't know if he's still active in competition. But yeah, man, they are out there. They are absolutely out there. Actually, I'm going to see if might be able to find him. What did I mess with Ronnie and Danny while I was trying to be motivational? Yeah, I didn't feel like I needed to point it out, but since we're talking about it, the guy in my gi match that I showed at the very beginning of the stream, he had a deformed hand, or again malformed, I don't know, but you would think that would, especially in gi, that would be a real problem for someone trying to do jiu-jitsu, someone whose hand literally can't grip anything. But then you learn about Jean-Jacques Machado, one of like the OG masters in the sport, who had the exact same condition where he had a hand that he could not grip with. It was deformed, and he's like a very accomplished grappler from the old school. So you learn to work with what you can. I mean, look at Jason. His arms are fully formed and he can't even use them well. As I say that, and he goes to rip your hat off. Yeah, he had adapted his whole game based around that and was very successful with it.
Tio, I have no idea what the Naga points were when we competed.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I didn't know if they did a team one. Did they? Yeah, they normally do. They normally do a team points.
Yeah.
But I do not remember. Yeah, belly down ain't fun. That's really, you gotta get back up to your knees as fast as possible.
One of the worst feelings for me on the mat is when I've flattened out on my stomach and I can't get my knees underneath me. Like, just knowing how vulnerable I am there. Yep. Like if Caleb manages to beat me in that position or something, and he's being heavy from the top and I can't get my hips up.
That's ridiculous.
I'm just like, all I care about is not letting an arm get around my neck at that point. There you go with the shoulder crunch to the opposite side, like Cole's been showcasing.
Yep. I like that one.
Yeah. Tio, I miss this energy, man. I'm glad you're in the chat. Get back on the mat too, dude. We missed the loud counting, the when you give us the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you could hear Tio's voice through the floor downstairs. It's that Marine level callback.
Yeah, I don't think I submitted Veronica in this one. It's infuriating. It's all right. You can scare the tennis players.
Yeah, they frighten easily. But no, never too loud. You hid how quiet all the other weak voiced students were, so they probably appreciated it too, since they don't ever want to count, which is wrong. Everyone should be counting. DJ, while I'm thinking about it, man, you should search around in your area for some schools and call them and ask them if they've ever had any handicapped athletes, or how they can accommodate you, and what kind of stuff they could teach you. You'll probably find the jiu-jitsu communities a lot more welcoming and helpful than you may have thought. Danny's just triangling Camden all day. Except the wrong way triangle now. But in the meantime, keep slinging some iron at Planet Fitness. Work on your fitness goals.
I feel like Steven and Jason are getting fiery back there.
Yeah.
Or is this still? Oh, it's a little.
See
fast.
what happens.
I don't know how Veronica got out of my back mount and now is past my guard. I don't know how she does that.
Nothing we've taught her, that's for sure. Danny ripping legs off of Camden. Can you show your YouTube? I don't think if you put it in chat, it'll just get censored out.
A white belt.
Savage.
Back up. How did that happen? I was watching
What?
Danny rip a knee bar on a white belt, and I missed getting Veronica back over. How did that?
You could try to put it in the chat, DJ. I just don't know if it'll show.
So I just collapsed the leg.
Yeah.
Went over in side control. Yep.
That's not getting greedy, Ronnie. That's correct. You should try to advance your position. Danny did
It's not on me.
What was that?
It's not on me.
So Danny did a Texas cloverleaf, or basically a knee bar, by the look of it. Yeah. So he didn't heel hook him. So he was nice enough. But yeah, let's see if I get a kind of watch it come into play here. So Danny's in a cross ashi, controls the secondary leg, which is this leg, and then weaves his arm under the primary leg, which is this leg. And he starts to extend it. And then gets the knee bar that way.
We got asterisks in the chat, so I think it got censored out.
Yeah. Sorry, man. What kind of content do you put out there? Camden.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't think anyone else in the chat will be able to see it though, DJ.
Yeah, on our side it shows up as 3 asterisks.
Cam's doing a good job of trying to control the ankle, lower part of the foot, lower part of the shin rather.
Yeah.
But Danny's doing a really good job of inverting and regarding, making it difficult.
So he even gets to a like right here. He should be looking to close in that distance, right? Danny's barely got a knee in for guard right now. So closing that distance, getting down to like a knee on belly position, and we can work on this a little bit in the coming weeks, Cam. But you're doing a good job. You're doing exactly what you need to do to get around the legs. Now you just have to close distance, right? So that's I'm glad to see you working that. That's basically what you call a Toreando pass, or that's kind of like a family of passing, or maybe even like a loose term for just kind of like controlling the legs, stepping by them. It's a loose style of passing. Yeah, Danny's see you later, DJ. Thanks for stopping by, man. You could call it farmer strength. That's one thing to call it. I've always said Danny's bones feel like they're made of rebar though. Like anytime his shin is like digging into mine, or if it's across like my bicep or digging into my thigh, it just feels awful.
Yeah.
Camden doing good. Good regard.
I take solace in the fact that he bruises like a peach. So
Yeah.
when he does that, he just comes back with bruises all over his shins and forearms.
Yeah, he blames
right.
us.
Yep.
I guess we all forget. Danny hurts the rest of us so much that we forget to check if maybe he's hurt himself too. Camden, good. It looks like okay. So we'll work, Camden. We got to work on your close guard attacks. Hopefully, you pick something up over the last 2 weeks. Just some basic principles, right? Like what you're doing right now is kind of setting up ish an omoplata, but Ronnie's arm is in a better position for her to get out of. So you're not really going to be too successful with that. But getting both arms on one side of the body is a good place to start. There are plenty of other options too if you can't get that. Camden seems to really gravitate toward the omoplata, or at least he was this day. Maybe we should show him that. Show him how to do it properly.
He was actually doing that yesterday, now that I think about it.
Because that, like there, it's in a... Ronnie's arm is a bit more compromised. But the previous attempts, it wasn't in any real danger. Okay, good. Well, I am going to skip ahead a little bit. Good standing guard break work. So this might play into the point I was just making before. Gets around the legs, closes the space quickly. Good. He did that with a bit more of like he did it with like a tighter passing approach, though. He didn't really use like the Toriando.
Yep.
So he was kind of already down.
He's sitting pretty far back. I'd like to see him putting a little bit more pressure.
Yeah, up at the shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good rule of thumb. Let's find it. So like right here, whichever way you're facing, in Camden's shoes here, whichever way you're facing should dictate where your weight should be. Remember when we pin each other, you know, we're trying to control hips or shoulders and head, right? If you're looking towards the shoulders and the head, you should be trying to pin the shoulders and the head. I point that out because all of Camden's weight is over Ronnie's hips right now. So he's not really exercising any control over the head and the shoulders. If he scooched his body up that way and brought his shoulder line closer to Ronnie's shoulder line, he'd have a bit more of an effective pin and can start working to isolate limbs and progress from there. If he does want to hang out down here, if he wants his weight over Ronnie's hips, I would advise him to look the other way and start attacking legs, right? Again, just a rule of thumb. I'm probably wrong in a million other scenarios, but it can give you a good path forward, you know, depending on how you sit. If I'm looking towards Ronnie's feet, well, so yeah, I guess an exception to my rule is if I'm looking to Ronnie's feet, but I'm in side control, I can still control her head and shoulders just fine. I guess I'm thinking more of whether or not I'm like caught in half guard. You know, like if I'm looking at the feet from half guard, I'm pinning at the hips. Whereas if I'm in side control, I'm pinning at the shoulders. So yeah, I don't know. I'll have to refine that a little bit, but either way, Camden should not be hanging out down over the hips in this Keisukatame configuration. Jason and Danny are having a nice little battle over here on the side.
Yeah, they are.
Cut off from the some of the stream. Danny just looked like he's trying to break Jason's ribs with his shin. What's going on with you and Steven here?
So I think I had a sweep and then he kept it going and wound up sweeping me.
Nice.
I think we were saying that was sick. Oh, we got that on film.
I love that that's often the first question is like, did we get that when we were behind the pillar? What did Ronnie do to poor Camden? Americana. Oh. It looked like you were trying to match Steven's like cartwheel jumping pass with your Sumigashi.
And follow him up. That's what I was exactly what I was trying to do.
The past year, who's improved the most at the school? Seen a bunch of blue belts and purple belts. Spider Lady, I think her name was Courtney. Who's improved most? Me and Peters from this Twitch stream, because we get to see what all you guys do, and we get to talk about how to stop it. No, I don't know, man. It's hard to say who's done the most, right? It's not something you can easily quantify, but I mean, just everyone is, and that can seem like a total cop-out answer, but I mean, really. Like, if we pulled up old footage from maybe last November, you know, when like the stream was pretty fresh, and started looking at that, you'd see guys making silly mistakes or missing opportunities or whatever, that they're just not doing anymore. And, you know, Steven, James, I mean, Camden, you know, when he came in, he was just flopping over everywhere. Now he's, you know, he trains really well. He's a wrestler when the season's on. You know, Brandon's been coming in with like much more intention in his roles, and like strategy, you know, seeming like following logical paths that, like, you know, we can tell you guys are starting to get it when things start coming together, and, you know, you're stringing ideas together, and like everyone I just named is doing that. But like, yeah, man, I'm leaving out so many names. I don't know what else. Who else can you commend? I mean, hell, Jason, who we're looking at right now, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be really funny to see like old us's versus new us's, even like beginning of the year, right? Because I think we would clearly kick the shit out of whoever the old us's were. So, I mean, everybody's accelerating so quickly, it seems like. I mean, we've got a couple of competitions. Mitch has been competing like crazy.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I don't know if I could pick a single person or even a couple of people. It's just too tough.
Yeah, I think our whole team is like, individually, I think everybody's very good at training with intention, and like identifying things. Like, we just saw Camden really like repeatedly trying to use the omoplata, right? Like, you kind of get fixated on these things, and, you know, I know you and I and Luke and Bertram are always down to like help people drill into that stuff when they get interested. But like, I think that's why everybody's improved. Like, they find things that work for them, and then they want to get awesome at them, and then they hit it on us and on each other, and you can't, your progress can't stagnate if that's how you train. It's just bound to get better. Yeah, man, for real. Ronnie's trying so hard to isolate Jason's arm. I know the feeling.
I was just thinking, I don't think I submitted Jason in our role at 6 minutes. It was it's very, very difficult to.
I can't remember the last time I tapped Jason.
Yeah, he's getting tough, man.
Yeah, and I know you're being complimentary, Ronnie. His arms are super strong, but he's just it's gotten to the point where he knows how to use it. Like, he knows good defensive postures so well that, like, if he was half as strong as he was, I think we'd still have just as much difficulty trying to like get his arms separated from his body. And I have no answer for your hair. I never have an answer for your hair. That's some like Bushido, Miyamoto Musashi samurai haircut you got going. I wish I could see what Danny was trying to do to Steven there. I guess a heel hook. Let's see. So we had the straight ankle. Yep. Slip to the heel. Switch to a knee bar, maybe? Looks like he was thinking about it, and Steven just gets the knee free.
Oh.
I think the foot was a little too low on Danny's chest to switch to the toe hold.
What's up, Austin?
What's going on, dude? You're late. What's your problem? You know who definitely hasn't improved is Austin. Missing warm-ups. Digital warm-ups. If you would just chicken wing like you used to. Let's go back a second. Look at that switch Danny made. You see that? So, Danny's rather seemingly fixated on the on Steven's left leg, and then watch him. I'm gonna put it to regular speed. This is a great, just a good little one of those quick things you don't even think to notice, but like you would think by his grips he wants Steven's left leg. Steven's probably weighing it up. He can't really get it, so he kicks his leg out and switches to the other. Hits a little kind of double ankle sweep with a single leg, like a single leg X configuration, and starts attacking. Looked like he had a nasty bend in that too.
Yeah. Well, now Steven's on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm stoked to see seeing that sort of leg switching going on, that awareness.
Ooh, Darce. Oh, nice. He locked that up tight.
Yeah, man. He went, and that whole thing initiated with leg attacks.
Yeah. And then he gets it with an upper body submission.
Love it. So Steven commits to one. God, I hate how easily Danny just sinks in these darces, man.
His right arm gets through so well.
I know, it's bullshit.
It really is.
like the depth on that strangle that like I have to claw for.
I mean, he did that to me when I was in Butterfly.
Yeah. And then the little tap on the knee, like, "You're all right, bud." Yeah, he finds that everywhere.
Yeah, the no biceps definitely could be it.
Yeah, I gotta stop doing curls, and then I can start hitting darces like Danny.
Yeah. Veronica's got an arm in north-south choke.
From not north-south.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
She's rotating around.
Yeah.
Here.
Oh, it's just, I think we lost footage there. It looks like it just skipped over.
Just skipped out.
Yeah, well, I didn't click. That just happened. So we don't know how she got back there. Yeah.
Okay.
Speed bump to the Darce. Look at Steven. Just to finish the round.
Jesus. He's flipping him off.
Just waiting for Danny's shin to snap. Yeah, he is. Nice. Good stuff.
Hell yeah.
Pure technique. Hell yeah, man. So yeah, cool. Thanks for being flexible with us tonight, going over some of that early competition footage from back in the day and some of the early lore of the school that you hear us joking about all the time. I don't know, should we tell them about our condition for the upcoming week?
Oh,
how we're both COVID positive and will not be there for a few days.
Yep.
Brown belt man is still precious. But yeah, so just tested positive for COVID today. So yeah, I don't know. I'll see you guys Monday, I guess. Yeah. Yes, I tell Mike, and he's like, "Hey, me too." Yeah, both of us. So yeah, whatever. Luke's back, so he'll be training tomorrow. Today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, he'll be. Luke will be there teaching tomorrow, and I assume Saturday. So we make out during rounds, not after. Austin, yes, you can teach. You can teach. No, man, we got to give him a stretch goal. I want him teaching. He could teach triangles to fundamentals class, and how about go-go platas to the advanced class? He doesn't even know what that is. Yeah, buggy chokes. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. All right, but you guys know the deal. Thank you for the subscriptions, for the resubs that we saw. Ronnie saw yours today before the stream started. And yeah, all the new follows, everybody chiming in the chat. I feel like we've been getting some good questions from some strangers, from students or people who aren't students at the school, and I love to see you guys giving your feedback on that too. So warms my COVID-y heart. Other than that, catch us on YouTube. Tio, we love you, we miss you. Get your ass back to class, man. Whenever you can, I will stop bugging you. But thanks for hanging out with us tonight, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It's good to hear from you.
Yeah. And if you guys want to support, you know how to do it. Subscribe here on Twitch. Follow us. Subscribe over on YouTube. All that good stuff. You can donate at coffee.com/MOBJJ if you'd want to support that way. And if nothing else, just keep on tuning in and hanging out with us and doing cool shit on camera at school. So don't get sick. Love you too, buddy. Glad you enjoy it. Stay away from COVID this week. Don't spread it at the school. And thanks, Brandon. We will see you guys back on the mats. So do your laundry, trim your nails, don't be stinky. We'll see you guys soon.
Later.